I had to get the camera out to make her a superstar, TV star. Bailey, you want some chow chow? Yeah. So here at Twisted Tree Farm, we have a range of animals. This is being our most exotic, called the Silver Lab. And the Silver Labs, they like strawberries here. This is the first one that I get to try this year because Bailey eats them all before we get a chance. As soon as she gets out of the truck, it's the first place she heads, to the strawberry bush. We only have one, I think, maybe two. But Bailey, what are you doing? No, let's not do that. Let's get rid of this food and let's get rid of this food and get you some fresh food. This was leftover food. So let's go over here and dump this out. Oh, that almost got on the camera. That would not have been good. So we can go get some food, get some water in here and wash this nasty yuck out. So no, Bailey, nope. Maybe go inside and do this. Go into our humble abode here. This is home for the next 3 or 4 years, probably. Whew, and it is hot in this place because it's so... We have to shut it up, obviously, because if it rains, it's going to get wet. So the first thing we have to do is open this thing up when we get in here, because if we don't, we die of suffocation. Heat stroke. And I'm going to sit right down on top of our brand spanking new mattress that we bought for this thing last week and put it in. This was Bailey's area in this kennel, but she has now graduated to having her own memory foam mattress. I am not too spoiled of a dog at all. That's correct. I am not lying. We bought her a memory foam mattress. And probably later you will see her. Oh, we're not going to get a good view because we put this huge tarp over top of this camper. It's old, but it was... I mean, it's when I say old, it's not like falling apart old. Kind of, maybe. Yeah, okay, it is. But it's going to be exactly what it was what we needed. Family is always step up, and they're always wanting to help one another. We do the same. But unfortunately, my uncle passed a couple years ago, and he had bought this to help somebody else who was in need of money. So he paid them money for this and helped the guy out. And when my uncle passed, his son, my cousin, and my cousin's mother, my aunt, knew that we had bought the farm, and that at that point we were staying in a hotel every now and then, and we'd come up here just to see it and talk about what we were going to do, and still looking for a good camper or something, another game plan, instead of paying $70 a night for a room at a hotel. That was just no way possible. And then this happened. We tried to offer them money, $200 more than what my uncle paid for it, and they refused to take the money. They said, "You are family, and this is what families do." And you know what? God bless them. They are correct. This is what families do. My family has always been that way. Not all of my family. My family has been this way. I didn't say all my family. Ha, now let's let them try and figure out who I don't think it is. That'll be a big argument, I'm sure. Good job, Brian. But anyway, so we have that opened up. Probably need to open this up anyway, even though we're not going to be getting much of a breeze with that tarp right there, but hey, any little bit is good. And at night, recently it has been getting down in the 40s here, so that's always going to be a joy. Back to the days of hunting last year when it was down into the 30s and we were still out here. But we do have heat. That reminds me, we have to go here shortly before they close and get the propane tank, the 100-pounder, filled tonight. So let's go. We got to go. We're going to take you on a garden tour before the way it's supposed to be done, or the way it is done typically around these parts on YouTube land. So we are going to first come back. I'm going to get a cold water because, again, this farm has no shade. We were so intelligent. We picked the spot on this farm with all the land we own, the spot that has the least amount of shade possible to put our house.
I wanted to go.
Look at all these bugs. Look at this. You know what that's all from? From the garden. That's exactly what that's from. No, we do not spray pesticides here.
Did you give her
I did not give her food yet. No, I'm getting water out of here, not out of there.
Water.
Oh, okay. I did not get her food yet. And the reason is I went in there to wash that bowl out and I completely lost my mind and didn't do it. Did you wash that bowl out?
I did. I filled it with fresh water.
Okay, so the other one's good then. I can give her food then. Wow, things happen when... Thank you. That was nice of you to do my chore. Not really a chore. Said thank you. That was nice of you to do that. Bailey, come on, girl. You want some chow chow? Oh, here she comes. Okay, now I gotta open her up. She's so excited, she probably may take 4 or 5 bites. Look at that, perfect. Somebody must have measured that out. Not quite sure who that would have been, but somebody must have measured that out. I'm sure this camera work is just stellar. Walking around holding it with my hand. I have nothing to right now to make this any better for you guys. I shouldn't say you guys, you folks. Guys is not proper. I'm sure many of the glorious terms you hear Steffi and I say are not proper. Hey, that looks like our neighbor down there. He's out hot rodding around on his little side-by-side. His hooped up side-by-side. So let's head over here to the garden tour, because then we have to take a trip to one of those supply places, supply chain stores, because unfortunately there's nobody around here local that I know of to support that fills 100-pound propane tanks. So we are going to go for the garden tour, and then I got to dig out that brand new 100-pound propane tank to operate this. I think it's a 9900 under load or something like that. I don't know, but it's powerful. It was free. Something happened. There were not bad people. We bought one off of Amazon, and it quit working for whatever reason, and it wasn't even a month old. It quit working, and we were in the middle of building what we're standing in now, this garage. My dad was here, in-laws were here, and it was blistering cold weather. And said, well, this can't happen. We have to be able to operate, tools and charge batteries for cordless tools and everything that comes with the fun of building without electricity or power of any kind. No, Bailey, you can't come this way, honey. Got to go back out and eat your chow chow. So anyway, we went down and bought a new generator at another one of those supply chains and spent another $1,000 or whatever it was. And lo and behold, a couple weeks later, I don't know what made me do it, started the other generator right up, and it hasn't had an issue since. But Right thing to do, wrong thing to do. The right thing to do is probably to find somebody to donate it to. So, but anyway, the corn is done. We're gonna take whatever there is. We got corn. We got good corn too. It tastes really well, but a lot of it's immature. I mean, the stalks are dying. It's been on there so long. So, but it's done what it's done, and we're gonna, because it's getting time for us to start working the land again and getting into fall planting. Won't be long and our farm manager will be out taking acres and acres of row crop from the farm. So wow, look at that. That ear is going to be good and yummy. And we have pumpkins out there. I can see pumpkins and all kinds of them. Those sunflowers are so big, they're just like, oh, help me. Help me. Okay, so let's go for a little tour on the Gardein. Look, see there? I told you something was in here. Look, they drug it off of the stalk and we're eating on it. I don't know if it's the mice hanging from it, swinging, and it breaks off, or if it's the deer, because I did not put my deer fencing back up. What I did and said, this is definitely going to keep the deer out of here, is I'll just wad it up and put it on the ground and it'll scare them away. What do we got? Oh, you could eat that one right off the cob. Raw. Look at that. Oh, that's yummified.
You know, it's getting to the point where it's almost too long.
Yeah, right? Put it in your Joey. 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 So let's,
You walking?
yeah, we have to walk, and now I feel rushed, like we're going to give him the dime tour instead of the silver dollar tour.
Top of that one.
Yeah, it's the deer, I'm telling you. If the ground wasn't, I mean, you know, as good as this clay is, I mean, people are begging for us to sell them yards of this clay to grow their garden in. So there was a deer right there. I just seen it, and it jumped back in the edge of the woods way over there, and we do not have a telephoto lens on there. I just got a mosquito buzzing around my face, just enough to annoy me. But it was over there on that little point of fingers. So anyway, it's back to reality here. It's not October 1st yet. So okay, so Tomato Alley. Cherries, I don't know. I don't know if we have any cherries down there or not. I mean, what? Do we have any that are ripe? Wow, this is just, I couldn't find my sun visor, and of course we're doing this backwards because, not really, that's how we do it all the time, but a lot of tomatoes on the ground now. I mean, there's,
I put them there last weekend because
yeah,
they were blight.
They were blight eaten. Deer have found them, finally found them, but the sun has scorched them and beat them, and
a couple more harvests and we'll be done.
yeah, probably a couple more harvests and we would be done for sure. These are going to be ketchup maters, I guess, according to the boss. Wow, look at this. Rotten, right?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, rotten. Okay. But these paste tomatoes, wow! I'm surprised at how well these. I've never grown paste tomatoes. I've grown.
Dandelions are just.
Yeah, they're just dying. We didn't get anything to say. And typically, I mean, Brandywine is my favorite tomato.
Not in the clay though.
Not Brandywines just do not like clay. I don't think. Not here anyway. They don't like our clay. Well. Maybe they don't like anybody else's, but we definitely know they don't like ours. But still a lot of green tomatoes on there, but we have some red ones too to harvest. I don't think it's as many as last week. Last week, wow.
I spent 2 hours out here.
2 hours just harvesting tomatoes alone, just tomatoes. So this time we're gonna do the tour first, and then we have to walk our way around our property here and go to our apple tree, our one lone apple tree that is just loaded with apples. We have no idea what kind of, look at that thing. That is a strong, strong tomato right there. Laying on the ground, not even touching a vine.
They can't see it.
I'm wiping, I'm trying to get it ready, camera ready for I'm dusting its foundation off because now you can see all the wrinkles in its face. Oh, great. Yeah, this was on the ground in the dirt, and it looks better than any of the Brandywines that we grew this year for sure. So, Garden Hack 101. Let your Brandywines lay in the dirt. Just take them off the vine when they're big enough. It doesn't matter. Just lay them in the dirt and you have them. Don't do that, please. Woo. So anyway, yeah. Let's see here. Geez, look at that. I don't think that you're gonna have anything left, babe.
Nope. It's okay.
They, last week I specifically asked her, do you plan on getting any of what was there now? Look at that. That is just not fair. Just not fair at all. Wow. Wowzer, oh my Lord, look at this. This thing got burnt so bad that the leaves are actually burnt. They're charred.
Yep.
Did you see that?
That's why next year we gotta work on suncloth.
Yeah, it was shade cloth. I found one, but it's only like 8 foot long. Yeah, that's not gonna do anything. Wow.
Just getting the tomatoes that are on the wrong side of the fence.
Yeah. Well, it's our side of the fence still, but they're not wanting to cooperate.
Yeah, so we got a lot of that. I don't know what caused that.
What? Yeah, I don't know.
We got a lot of that.
Tomato rot. I've seen too much water all at once. So that had to be during one of the torrential downpours that we had to try and make up for not doing anything early in the year, I guess.
Not harvesting anything.
Yeah, I mean we're only here, you know, three days out of the week, so. So that was all. That was just one thing of the tomato alleys. We're kind of having to work hard. We're giving you, man, we're really cheapskating them, giving them the dime tour instead of the silver dollar. But
Keep walking.
well, we have to get. You can't even get through there because sunflowers are so heavy. Oh, oops, sorry. I didn't mean to elbow you in the temple.
Just knock me out.
Just knock you out? Okay. That one is red. It looks pretty, but I bet the bottom of it's rotted.
This one right here?
No, up further.
This one?
Yeah.
Perfect.
Wow, yep. Just throw them in the dirt and let them. See what they do here. Here's another one that's perfect. That wrinkled one. I took its foundation off and cover up it, and look what it did. It said, "Wrinkle me." It's wrinkled. Jeez, look at all these paste tomatoes. It's nuts.
Those are your Romas.
Are they finally? Oh, you're.
I just harvested all these
Yeah.
last weekend. And have probably another pint of beans, bell peppers galore.
Oh, look at that. I just got done chopping before we come here, actually. I just got done chopping up. Excuse my measuring weight. I do grams, not ounces. It's just habit from food prep and things of that nature.
Lots of peppers, so we'll have more.
Yeah,
bags of
more
peppers.
peppers. Oh my Lord.
We won't need to plant many peppers next year, if any at all.
Yeah, they have really taken over our house. One of them, yeah, it's unbelievable. Okay, we have to go through the turnstile of sunflowers here. I went and bought a new pair of tennis shoes yesterday, and Steffi stayed in the truck while I ran, and I knew what I was going to get, so I just went in to grab them. And I got in there, and right below them was a pair of sneakers they were black with sunflowers all over them. Wow. Wow, wow, wow. So you would think in this mess that hornworms would just stick out like crazy, but
There's one in here somewhere.
there's more than one, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, but I saw one. I just couldn't get to him.
Couldn't get to him in time, he ran away.
He was gross.
Yeah. He was a gross one. I gotta find my visor for this monitor. The sun really just takes the whole purpose away. Add weight for nothing. Wow. Butternuts, butternuts, butternuts. Yeah.
Back in the San Marzano tomatoes. Another piece.
That one's no good. I just stepped on one, so that one exploded. That one was in the dirt too. That would have been a good one. Would have been a keeper, and Brian had to go step on it.
I did tie these up every weekend.
Yeah, she was out here religiously tying these up in the rain, actually, a couple weeks ago. She was out here in the rain.
We need to get cattle panel next year because this is just not sturdy enough to hold them.
Yeah, that's actually what we used. It's twine. It's fat. It's not metal. I mean, but what that is, you can get it at any large chain store by the 5-gallon bucket. I want to say it's like $55 or $60, and it's called electrical fish tape.
Well, not good for gardens.
Yeah, it's not good for gardens. It's fish tape. You take and feed it through. An electrician would know this. To grab onto the metal portion of the fish tape and pull that back through the conduit, to yet tie wires to the metal conduit to pull back through the conduit again. Kind of seems like a lot of added extra work. But the Howdens, little family of Howdens over here.
Back there, these are the sugar pies
These are the sugar pies?
that I made pumpkin puree with last weekend.
Oh yeah, that's right. Yeah.
That was these.
I didn't know that we was ever going to get our house back after all those tomatoes made it in. Wow. Yes.
Watermelon.
Yeah, watermelons. Melons. Wow. Little teeny one. Oh.
That's not gonna do any good.
No, it's not gonna make her. If I step on it, it's really not gonna make it. Look at that little cabbage still trying to make its way to earth. Look at down in there, that little cabbage. Come on, little feller.
Gave up trying to weed it when you're only here once a week.
Come on, little feller. You can get her done. Come on. Anybody remember that cartoon Puffin' Toot? The little train that could? Little engine that could? I don't think that was Puffin. That was Thomas. That wasn't Puffin' Toot. Puffin' Toot was way older than Thomas. Oh boy, now what way do we go? I guess we're gonna have to go this way. It's easier. Stretch. Butternut.
I have a few.
Yeah. Again, every time I see a butternut, it reminds me of the vine, never-ending vine in our previous house. 62 foot long, I think it was. The never-ending butternut vine. Oh, look at there, squash bugs, of course, everywhere. They're heavy this time of the year. We didn't have that many of them early in the year.
Just now. I don't see any zucchinis ready.
I do not either, and I was looking.
I don't see
So-
any real squash.
We did well picking them sooner than later because I don't know that they'd have been here. Oh, we still have some crooknecks over here that may make it. They're a little small yet. Maybe they'll grow overnight.
This area is a mess because I purposely planted wildflowers in here.
Oh,
Bring in the bees and
Yeah.
pollinators and
we don't have any bees around here, so it's... Yeah, really. I don't know what's going on with them, but they're not liking it here for some reason. So,
and then our cucumbers.
this is
cucumbers.
Yeah, this is the time of the year that brings sadness because the garden's going. I love the first part of the garden when they're just starting to grow and flourish and they're getting bigger and bigger each week. That's my favorite time of the year. There don't even have to be anything on the vine.
Good.
Yeah. There doesn't even have to be anything on the vine, just the plants growing so much and changing so quickly. Well, that is going to be it for this week. Well, for the garden anyway, but there's just not that much here to show anymore. And so we will now mount and load up. Somehow we're going to get I know what I'm going to do. I'm going to use the lazy man's way, and Bailey was smart. She went and found the shade that the truck's making to lay down in it. We're going to go load the propane tank up and go down and have them fill it so we can get that.
Then this weekend we'll be cleaning out the garden a little bit.
Yeah, cleaning the garden out and changing the twine, the pink twine that everybody loves so much. I'm going to change that out to something else.
Take measurements to build something.
Yeah, I'm going to build some kind of
Get rid of that ugly tarp.
roof structure. Yeah, so alrighty then. So we have made our presence known at our local affiliate propane fill station, where they only charge by what they give you. It's not an exchange, actually. You bring your tank, they fill it, and that's all you pay for. Hi, how are you? You don't mind being on a video, do you? He's coming out and graciously filling our propane tank for us. I don't know how the business is with videos, so we'll try and keep the name out of there. Great people, though. It's not empty, I don't think, completely, but that's why we come here. So I have a dual connection valve on there, so I can run two things. Come from here, buddy. There we go. There we go. Last year when it was in the wintertime and we were coming down here pretty much every day, sometimes twice a day, to get just your typical gas grill propane tank refilled. We had 4 or 5 of them, and by the time you pay for gas, I mean you're well over the cost limit of what it would be to buy one of these and make the trips less. So it paid for itself. And I think whoever made that design on those to tighten that down, they need to go back to school. It's not a very thought out process there, in my opinion. There we go. Righty-tighty, lefty-loosey does not apply here. There we go. Now we have some propane moving. So this is what they call a 100-pound tank. It's got your typical, I can't remember what they call it, a triple C something. I can't remember what it is, but I bought an add-on valve here where I bought the tank actually. It's a Y. And then I went on to your local Amazon.com store and ordered a gauge that's not very reliable. It's just got like your green and then orange and then red. So I found out that once it gets about halfway down to orange, you're in trouble because you're not going to make it through the night on propane. So, and the nice thing about this place is most of the time you can pay for it right here at the pump, just like a gas station. And over here you can see the gauge going up. I don't know how to read the gauge or what the gauge tells you when it's at like 5.9 or whatever, 6. Is that 6 gallons only?
Yep, gallons.
Wow.
Yeah, 100-pound tank goes up to 23.8.
23.8?
Yep.
Why do they call it a 100-pound tank? That's pressure?
It holds 100 pounds.
100 pounds?
Yep. Yeah, some places do it by the pound, some do it by the gallon.
Got ya. By the gallon, correct. People hear 100 pounds and then they're like, oh, well, he only put in 7 gallons or 7 pounds.
Right.
Yeah, he can run out pretty quick that way. No, it's done on gallons just like gas. Oh, conversion, don't ask me what the conversion rate is because I couldn't answer that. He could right off the top of his head, but he does this every day, so. There's a couple other guys. I haven't had the pleasure of dealing with you yet, but there's a couple other guys. One with mustache and a beard, cut real close, and I think he's got glasses.
Yeah, Sawyer.
Older guy.
Oh, an older guy.
Yeah. I want to say there's one named Darren or something.
Yeah, Darren, yep.
Yeah, him. Everybody here has been nice to us, so we
try to be good to people.
We bought our farm here last year, outside down by Calamo area, and so we had to come up here quite a bit to get propane last year because we don't have water, we don't have heat, we don't have nothing yet. We lease out quite a bit of our land to a farmer to plant row crop, but I built a 2.5 car garage. I was up here quite a bit to get stuff for that, stuff that I forgot that I needed that I didn't have. So yeah, we come up here quite a bit during hunting season. I do know last year I brought up a propane tank for like for a gas grill. Some kind of issue with it because it would take forever to fill. I mean, I don't know what the problem was with it, but finally got it filled.
It could be a valve issue.
Yeah, I weeded that one out. I went to my local big chain home do-it-yourself center and exchanged that one. They gave it to me, so. My dad, when we first bought the property and got the garage built, he goes, "Oh, you're gonna have to get a 100-pound tank or a couple 100-pound tanks. That way, you can run on propane for a while and put heat in the garage." And he goes, "Matter of fact, I think I got a spare one sitting here." I said, "Oh, that'd be nice." And he brings one over. It's got to be from the 1960s. So yeah, Dad, I don't think they're gonna fill that anymore.
Right.
I appreciate the thought, but
yeah.
well, you might as well keep it. I don't know where to get rid of it.
Right.
Oh, great, thanks.
plan on like a more permanent solution?
Yeah, no, this is what we're doing right now. We're going to be moving here in about 3 years, 3 to 4 years. So I'm retired already. She has another 3 or 4 years before she can retire and collect her 401k. We don't want to give that money up. So
Where are you living now?
There was still some in the tank, I know. So I don't know if it was completely empty. What would it read if it was completely empty? Do you think?
It'd read about that, 23.
20. So I was close then. Wow. Okay, that's good to know then. Not that I could tell how much I have left, but I guess pretty well then. So we got that filled. Hopefully this will last us to halfway through the hunting season, and then before my dad takes off, he comes up for 1 week, and then he'll take off, and it'll just be the wife and I probably, and we'll take advantage of the last week. Best time to hunt, in my opinion. 2 best dates are Halloween and this is just my opinion. There's no scientific data, but November 7th, I can walk in my living room and show you the dates on those beer. Both of those booners are November 7th. So,
All right. Are you paying by card?
yeah. So we have our evening running, I guess you could call it, our errands done. We always forget something that we have to drive all the way in to our local grocery store or hardware or something like that. It's not just like around the corner. So it's absolutely beautiful outside. There is no wind. Mostly bluebird skies, but I mean it's just amazingly beautiful tonight. I'm more of a spring fall kind of person. I don't like it extremely hot, and I don't like it extremely cold. I'd rather deal with extremely cold though before extremely hot. So
Unknown caller.
and we're getting a call from an unknown caller. If anybody hasn't caught on yet, there's been a few times in videos that will show that we're not super far from a small town, but we're not right close to town either. We're out, yeah, about 20 minutes out, but between here and there, that 20 minutes is farm. So I mean, it's when you get to town, you're in town. That's it. That's all you have. So there's only a couple, handful of grocery stores and gas stations. But other than that, that's pretty much all you're going to get. Some gas stations, a couple car washes. There is one big car dealership really close. When I say really close, I mean in town, where we go to the grocery store if we forget something. Like this time, we're doing homemade spaghetti sauce. We're making spaghetti for dinner. And of course, me, as always, forget something. And this time it was garlic from the garden for the homemade spaghetti sauce. So I had to go get store-bought. But other than that, pretty much everything is from the garden this year. You've seen the tomatoes on the vines, and that makes us feel good. It's definitely not a cost factor because I think that cost is probably going to be pretty equal to what you buy in a store. It's more so knowing what you get in that jar of spaghetti sauce, or getting it to the flavor that you like without using all the added extra ingredients that they put in to stabilize it for a longer shelf life or whatever it is. But other than that, we don't put anything else in that we, you know, it's just your basic seasonings, which you'll see here in just a little bit. But so for now, we're gonna sit back and enjoy this beautiful, absolutely beautiful sunset. You can't really see it here because we got to go by the hospital, but it is really beautiful outside. There is no wind, so we will pick this back up at the farm. So before I put the camera away, I figured that we would probably end up getting something that we'd want to capture, and I had brought it up. Can't see the sunset back there, but here you can see it. It is just beautiful. You can't really see how orange it is. It's just unbelievable.
Speed up.
No, you don't have to speed up. That is just gorgeous. Right up here we should get a really good shot because it's a pretty good sized ag field coming up. Lot of farming up here. I shouldn't say up here, I should say over here in this vicinity. Wow. So there she be in all of her glory. So we just got back from town. This is our process every time we get here, or every time we leave. We haven't told the whole story yet about why we have to lock this up. But we bought this. We bought quite a bit of other stuff too, because like I said, this is our dream home. This is going to be our dream home, our retirement home. It's not going to be some big extravagant home. We'd rather put the money into the land, the real estate, and what we enjoy most is working the land, management of the wildlife. And so we have to lock the gate. We put the gate up honestly for Bailey, so she could run around and not have to worry, you know, about getting hit by a car, a stray car that goes by, something like that, you know. We do have some neighbors that are a little bit close, and they do have pit bulls, but I don't think Bailey would mess with them. And the pit bulls may mess with her. I hope not, because I don't want to have issues with the neighbors. But we have to lock it up because we had an 18-foot utility trailer. Like your landscape trailer, you know, they got the drop-down gate. Well, we had the one that you know, the top of the line. It was all powder coated. It wasn't a complete square tube frame. It wasn't the half angle iron stuff. Powder coated, LED lighting, 10,000 GVW. I mean, it was nice. We used it to haul the tractor and all the implements. And we were building the garage to keep everything safe. And we had one more week to go before we put the door up and everything, and somebody snuck in and cut the lock on the trailer and stole the trailer. So now we lock the gate. And we don't have a trailer for him to steal, obviously. So we're gonna wait on that. Real bitter taste in our mouth still. I don't think it's ever gonna go away, but insurance give us a whopping $1,500, and that covered the $400 in wood that we had left on there. Tools, everything total. We had receipts for everything too. Just over $15,000, and we ended up with a whopping $1,500. So weren't very happy with that. Still not very happy with it, but what are you gonna do? It's not like you're gonna take them to court and win, but it is what it is. So we lock the gates. We don't lock it when we're here. So we got to come in here and come back, and we get in the garage and open everything up and pull the tractor out, pull the zero turn out, and pretty much start setting everything up. And so we'd have no electricity, as ever, you know, if you watch the videos, we don't have any electricity, so we run on generator. Could be worse, I guess. We are happy here. You know, luckily we weren't here and nobody got hurt, so sorry about the noise. Boo. Nobody got hurt, so that was the good thing. You know, the good Lord kept us safe. We're back to, if we have a big load on something, you know, you gotta pay for delivery. So it is what it is. So then we get the keys out for the tractor and the zero turn, get everything out, get it set up. And then, depending on what happens, or what time of the year it is, cut the grass. That's the first thing I typically do, but we cut the grass last time when we were here, towards earlier in the week, and it wasn't on the weekend, so it doesn't, I'll have to cut it before I leave, I know that. But none of this was here. None of this lawn was here. I planted all that with the tractor and the primary seeder. I did a great job. It doesn't look like a whole lot right now, but you have to remember, we're dealing with clay, and it was ag field for 50-something years. So there was nothing here but corn or soybean or wheat. It didn't. I mean, they for 50-something years, and we come out with some grass. It wasn't that bad. Plus, on top of that, we had, again, no rain early in the year, but it turned out pretty nice. So I'm gonna get the tractor and everything going, and we got to get busy on dinner. So we will shoot back to you. Well, Brian from Twisted Tree Farm. We didn't record any this weekend. We only went for one day to the farm. We've had so much going on. So we went up there to harvest and take care of some tree stands again for deer hunting, cut the grass, let Bailey run, and we're back. And oh my word. So last harvest you seen, we had upwards of 60 pounds, 60 plus pounds?
60 pounds of tomatoes.
60 pounds of tomatoes. And this is many, many more than what we had last time. And I mean, there's all kinds. There's paste tomatoes and, oh my Lord, and all these cherry tomatoes, zucchini, squash, beans, little tiny carrots. They just don't like to grow in clay, or us not being there all the time is the big thing, I'm sure, because we never had this problem with our garden before we moved. All the peppers, I mean, there's just a hodgepodge of bell peppers and hot peppers and banana peppers and serranos, jalapenos, scotch bonnets, pumpkins, cantaloupe. The corn is pretty much done. There's only a few ears left. The water, the drought early in the year really, really hurt our corn. We have some that's frozen. There's some small ears, but the corn's all the way out to the end. I just think the water is what did it, you know. Thankfully, moving the garden of corn up closer to the garage in the trailer hindered the deer. We fenced this off because last year they just demolished it. I mean, there was nothing left, not even a stalk. They just nailed it to the ground, it seemed like. But yeah, this is definitely our biggest harvest, and will be the biggest harvest of the year. And not one tomato will go to waste, not one bean, not one pepper. Preservation, preservation, preservation. And I am so proud of Steffi for all of her hard work. While I was out doing blinds and cutting grass, She picked all of this all on her own, and I can't imagine how long she was bent over or on her knees. The cherry tomatoes alone would have been enough to drive me nuts. Not that I wouldn't have done it, but I mean, this is just crazy. It's good, it's really good, and we've been sharing a lot of stuff. I mean, we made spaghetti sauce out of one of our batches, and holy smokes, it was the best spaghetti sauce I've ever had in my life. It was just amazing. So yeah, this is
This will go into more spaghetti sauce, stewed tomato, salsa, ketchup. Maybe
salsa.
some diced tomatoes. So got a lot of.
I put a pretty good dent in the salsa over the fish and trips.
And dehydrate a lot of the tomatoes and make a tomato powder so that they can be rehydrated in soups and stews.
Wow, this is crazy.
And turn the pumpkins into a pumpkin puree so when I make my pumpkin rolls.
Yeah, a lot of this will be used. We take 2 weeks off starting just before Halloween, and we're there until November 11th, 12th. And that is our time away from everything. That is our hunting time. That is where we fill our freezer with meat, hopefully. No, we don't shoot anything. We do manage for deer, obviously. So, I mean, you're not just gonna have those everywhere. So, yeah, we will not let any of this go to waste. Just like the fish we caught and kept. We didn't keep all of them. We did let some go. But we do have fish in the freezer now. And it sounds like maybe, possibly, if my father can get clearance from his doctor, we may be making a trip to Lake Simcoe to do some perch, which I haven't done in many years. But if it's anything like it used to be, that will be a trip to behold for people to see the perch that come out of that lake. So, but yeah, this is just getting started. We're going to try and get some of what we do here to process this, maybe a little bit later. It is Saturday, so there's not a bedtime, but I know both of us had not had much to eat today at all. We still went to the gym. So yeah, this is quite exciting.
Yeah.
So we may come back and let you see what we do to process some of this.